Hey everybody, so I'm going to talk to you today about how to put together an annotated bibliography. And so you want to be following along with this presentation that you should have access to. Um, so here we go. So an annotated bibliography, what is it? Well, it's a bibliography, which is a list of sources, like a works cited page, and it's annotated, which means that it includes notations, summaries, evaluations, things like that. So putting that all together, it's a really long-winded and robust works cited page with commentary. It actually kind of helps to think of an annotated bibliography as like a really, really detailed outline for a research paper. The whole point of doing an annotated bibliography is basically you're doing the legwork now while you're gathering resources so that when it comes time to actually write your research paper, the research paper takes very little time. See, most often students do the exact opposite. They spend very little time researching, but that creates a lot more work when they go to put it all together and put their thoughts down on paper for a research paper. So basically, you're doing a little bit of work now for a lot of work later, and that's how most students operate. Well, the annotated bibliography is designed to get you to do the exact opposite. You do all the legwork now in the prep and the setup phase so that when it comes time to actually write your paper goes by like that. Um, so that's the point, honestly, of doing an annotated bibliography. Like I said, it's like outlining your paper in a very detailed, robust way. Not only that, but what it actually helps you do is helps you to think more deeply about the sources that you've gathered. See, oftentimes students, they get a topic and then they just find some sources that maybe they've read, maybe they've just kind of skimmed through, and maybe those sources fit, maybe they don't, who knows, but they don't really care that much about the sources that they're using. An annotated bibliography forces you to slow down and to say, how does this source actually answer my topic? And not only that, but how can I get source A to talk to or fit with source B, C, and D in my paper? How can I actually work these things together so that they make sense together in a good synthesized manner? And so that's really the whole point of an annotated bibliography. Now, annotated bibliographies come in all shapes and sizes, depending on your professor and depending on your subject and your class and what it is that you're trying to accomplish. For me, for my purposes, your annotated bibliography is going to have 4 components. Okay? The first component is the source citation, which is basically the thing that you put in your works cited page. Then it's going to have 3 paragraphs, a summary paragraph, an evaluation paragraph, and a reflective paragraph. And I'm going to talk about each one of those. And keep in mind, the whole thing needs to be in MLA format, 12-point font, Times New Roman, double space, yada, yada, yada. So the source citation, that is basically, it's what goes in your works cited page. Okay, I don't have a slide for that, but basically, if you're finding your sources from a legitimate source like Google Scholar or from a research database, they're always going to have the source citation there for you. You just literally have to copy and paste it. Okay, and I'll have a separate video more on that later. Okay, so let's talk about these 3 paragraphs. So once I found my source, and I decided that this source really answers my prompt and I really want to use it, well, now I have to talk about it. So the first thing I want to do is I want to write a little paragraph where I summarize what's that source about. If that source is like a 5-page article or something, what is that article about? How does this source talk about my prompt? What's it about? This proves to me that you read the article and that you have an idea of what it's talking about. And that paragraph is going to be fairly short, okay? Just a few sentences. Like an introductory paragraph, it's going to be like 3 to 5 sentences, just very short. What's the article about? The second paragraph is a little bit longer, but still pretty short. In this article, you're going to evaluate, in this paragraph, you're going to evaluate the article. What was the point that the author was trying to make? Was it effective? And how is this article useful for your topic? Or is it? Maybe you want to say something like, this article focuses mainly on this character for the play. So let's say, for example, I'm writing a topic. My topic is about the role of women in Shakespeare's Hamlet. Okay, and this particular article focuses entirely on Gertrude. So in my evaluation, I might say that this article is useful for that particular topic, but only insofar as it's talking about Gertrude. As far as Ophelia goes, more evidence will be needed, more articles will be needed, because this article only focuses on the one lady instead of both. So that would be my evaluation. Then the reflective paragraph is going to be the meat of this source citation. Okay, this paragraph is going to be the longest paragraph. This paragraph, I can't stress this enough. You want to treat this paragraph as if you were writing a body paragraph using that source for that topic. So let's say I'm using that source for my research paper. How would I use that? How would I write that as a body paragraph? That's how you want to approach the reflective paragraph, because when it comes time to taking the information from your annotated bibliography and turning it into a research paper, the whole point is to be able to literally copy and paste from your annotated bibliography into your research paper. So the more that you can make your reflective paragraph resemble that of a body paragraph in a research paper, the easier your life will be, because you're going to be quite literally copying and pasting the reflective paragraphs from your annotated bibliography and turning it into your research paper. So again, you want to spend the most time in the reflective paragraph. Treat it like a body paragraph. This is where you're going to take quotes from the article, from that source, put those quotes down, and then explain, analyze, how do those quotes answer that prompt? That's what goes in the reflective paragraph. So just like a research paper paragraph, you put some quotes down and you explain how those quotes answer your topic. Same thing in this paragraph. So what does this all look like? I have a more robust example, but just briefly, this is what it would look like. So you have your source citation up here, and then underneath that source citation are 3 body paragraphs. Your summary paragraph, your evaluation paragraph. So the summary paragraph, what is this article about? Here's my source citation, here's where to find the article, here's what it's about, here's how it ties into the prompt, here's some quotes from the article, and an analysis of how those quotes answer the prompt. And you're going to do this process for every single source. So if you have 5 sources, you're going to do this whole process, all 3 paragraphs plus the source citation, 5 times. 6 sources, you're going to do this whole process 6 times. So you can see where this would be very time-consuming and maybe cumbersome endeavor, but I promise you, it'll make it'll be worth it when you get to the research paper. So again, the whole point of this is to do the legwork now, so that when you get to the research paper is written like that. I've seen students who spend a lot of time on their annotated bibliography, and so when it gets time to their research paper, they basically, because they did so well on the annotated bibliography, their research paper was done in under 40 minutes, quite literally. So That's the point. So this is going to be very time consuming. It's a very time consuming assignment, so do not wait until last minute.